Once again, we got a project, and my supervisor Sadie over there is hard at work. Today's project is doing the battery swap, and so what we've got is two 100 amp hour lithium batteries. I'll give you Battleborn batteries. I'll give you a close-up of them right there. Two of these Battleborn lithium batteries. Went ahead and fabricated a tray to set the batteries in. It's got a cushioned mat in there. This mat is of a cushion that you'll probably remember. A lot of gyms or children's play areas have this kind of a cushioned mat, just to give the batteries a little cushion as they ride. We've got a new lithium capable charger. I'll give you zoom in on the details of it there. 1,000 watts. Smart shunt, which will come off the negative pole of the battery. And then those two red wires, one will go come off the positive of each one of the Battleborns to give a battery measurement. Here's what we're taking out. And so these are 88 amp hour interstate lead acid batteries. So we're going to bring these out, bring out those battery trays. As you'll recall, the tops of these had this snorkel that goes on the top, as lead acid batteries do vent, and they have to, there's the connection of the vent right there, and it goes into this port here. Those do vent, and those have to be vented out of the RV. And so now with the sealed lithium batteries, you no longer have to have that snorkel apparatus. And so we're going to go ahead and pull all that out. Got some new cables for the negative, and those are jumper cables that'll go between the two lithium batteries. Just as the existing jumpers, pretty thin, that were the existing wires. And so we'll clean that up, pull out these battery boxes, and put in that new tray. And so let the games begin. This is the old charger located behind the storage bay. All right, just a quick video to show the install of the charger. Two screws, I got two screws, one here and one on the other side. The grounding cable, ended up putting a splicing nut on there to ground the fuse box from the front of the RV. There's a grounding port on the back of the charger, and so they're connected with this bolt, and then it's connected to the side of the RV down here, down below. Positive and a negative for the charger. This says torque to 30 to 50 inch-pounds, and so just about as tight as I could tighten it with an Allen wrench. It's I think it's a number 5 metric to tighten that up. And so all this is done. Putting it back together now, going to the front bay to connect the batteries. Okay, the lead acid batteries have been removed. Here's the bottom. This is the bottom of the battery tray, and the and to go along with the vent, the vertical vent for the snorkel that goes out, there is also a lower vent. And so these are the vents that, take a look under here, underneath the these are the solar connections right here. If you're looking at this wire. Those two vents that stick out down there, that's the lower vent for the battery tray. So this battery tray has a hole in it, and it connects to that lower drain for, in case the battery has a leak, it'll drain out the bottom. And so what I've done is put some steel wool, sorry, it's an SOS pad, steel wool in that hole about 2 inches down, both of these, right? And then I've got some, hold that up, Lisa, that can. And so this is just some spray foam for cracks, right, that you've used around your house. And so I'm just gonna put a little bit in there just to seal that off so critters aren't gonna be able to come back through the backside. The steel wool holds the expanding foam so that I don't have to fill that whole tube in case somebody wants to reverse this and put lead acids back in here. So you could take that out, but it also, there's no mice going to end up coming back through there because they can't get through that steel wool. And so insulation and then critter proofing as we go. Anyway, this is where the batteries are going to sit. The manufactured tray that we've got, the Battleborns will sit right in this tray, and then I'll work some straps to go over the top of each battery as they sit. Anyway, more as we go along. Okay, here's the install of the battery tray. We went ahead and put this flooring, this rubber mat, in the bottom of the storage area here in the front, the front of the RV, and we made this aluminum tray just out of, this is 1.5 inch angle iron aluminum. I say angle iron, but you know what I mean. It's an angle. It's made of aluminum. Cut it at 45s, bent it around the size of the Battleborn batteries as they sit in here in the front, and then drilled holes and riveted, used pop rivets to put this together, and then to mount this to the floor of the metal of the RV. And this thing's in here really good. There's I don't know, 2, 4, 6 rivets into the metal piece of the tray of the front of the RV, and then this sits in there, and now the batteries have a little cushion to sit on. And then what I'll end up doing is I'll end up putting a strap over the top of the batteries to hold them in place. At any rate, moving along. Quick video detailing all the connections on the batteries. First of all, there are jumpers, positive and negative jumpers that go from battery to battery. And that's all these do. Here's the negative jumper. He just comes over and connects to the other battery. Here's the positive jumper. He just comes over and connects to the second battery. The second battery only has those 2 jumper connections onto it. That's it. Over to the main, I'll call it the main battery. It does have a positive that goes to the load center, the fuse box in the front of the cabin there in the coach. It does go to the load center, but it does go through this ignition protection device here. And then it goes over into the load center, okay? And so these can, I'm certain these can remain in place, and we'll just install the new smart shunt just right above. Also, just talking about the positive on the battery, it does have a positive that comes off for the hydraulics. It also goes through, the positive from the hydraulics goes through a wiring center, mostly controlling the hydraulics is what this does. And so there's a positive that goes to this, and then a positive comes over to this ignition protection device, and then that positive wire is the positive that goes up to the hydraulics. A negative wire does come off of that hydraulic board up there, and it just goes into a ground. And so it's a ground that's right over there. Also, there is a wire that comes off of the negative terminal on the battery that goes to that same ground. And so here he is comes off the battery and he goes right over there to that same ground that the hydraulics is screwed to as well. Off of the negative, there is a negative wire that goes to the load center as well, and it does just go right over to the hole that feeds into the fuse box or the load center in the front of the RV. So 3 wires are off the ground. There's the jumper, the negative goes to the load center, and the negative that goes to the ground. Over to for the positive, we've got the jumper, the load center, and the positive for the hydraulics. I think that's it.